Oh, my map's gone. Ah! Look, they're getting really cross here. Whoa, wee. It's fine. Maybe I'm the arse. I've always thought that us British are far superior than the Americans when it comes to building a proper luxury car. But could this new Cadillac Escalade prove me completely wrong? On paper, this thing is so loaded with features, it has a Range Rover beat. But what is the actual reality? To investigate if this is indeed a proper luxury car, I'm going to put it through a series of very tough tests. This is like some kind of fairground ride. 1, 2. Come on, you big lump! And you know what? If it passes, I may consider importing one to the UK because I've actually set up my own import business. Right, you can check that out on my own channel, Matt Watson Cars. So I might actually end up buying one of these things and seeing if I can sell it in the UK. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. The Cadillac Escalade is huge. This is the standard wheelbase version and it's actually longer than a long wheelbase Range Rover. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.4 meters long. If you go for the long wheelbase version, it's 5.8 meters long. It's also taller and wider than a Range Rover, and it sort of presents a bit of a problem when it comes to washing the thing. You don't want to do it yourself, but can you find a car wash big enough to clean it? Well, thankfully, everything in the US of A is huge, just like this car. Hopefully I can get into this. Should be able to. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're good. This is an automated car wash, USA style. Right. Please wait.
Welcome back, club member.
I'm a club member? Well, I'm not, the car is. Hello, can you help me? It just said club member.
Yeah, it's for William.
Yeah, that's fine. Just call me William. I hate going into mechanical car washes in the UK because you have like these metal runners you have to drive between and you end up curbing your alloys. Here, they have ones that are rubberized on the side and it actually hooks your wheel up. Look at that, it's hooking my wheel. I've got a guide telling me what to do as well. Look, we're on. Yeah. There we go. It's just going to tug me through. This is different. I mean, this is proper, this is. It's so much different than the ones that we have, isn't it? I didn't want to have to clean this whole car myself because it's just so big. Look at that one. This is like some kind of fairground ride. It's like the car wash experience at Disneyland. Look at this big chamois. This is good. This is what ours doesn't have. Right, that was fairly painless. The question is though, has it actually got the real worst of the grime off this car? Well, let's find out. Well, it's got most of the dirt off, but there is still a bit left. But it's probably better than I'd have done. I'll tell you what's not better than I'd have done. These exhausts. There are real exhausts in there, but it's mainly fake. One thing about this car, this is on 24-inch alloy wheels. The standard ones are 22s. I never thought 22s would look too small, but even these 24s look a little bit small. Now this is the sports model, so it's got blacked out window surrounds. I think it looks more premium with the chrome effect of the standard vehicle. One thing that they've changed on this car as part of an update is the front design. So it's got new lights and a tweaked grille. It's certainly imposing looking, isn't it? It's very American, and there's also something very American underneath the bonnet. You can get the Escalade with 3 different choices of power systems. The most powerful one is the electric version. It's got dual electric motors and that has 750 horsepower. It's also very heavy. In the long wheelbase version it weighs 4 tons. 4 tons! Then there's 2 petrol versions. They are both 6.2 litre V8s. I've never seen a 6.2 litre V8 looks so small in an engine bay before. Anyway, there's a supercharged version which has 691 horsepower. This is not it. This is the entry-level naturally aspirated version with 426 horsepower. Now you can get the Escalade petrol versions as either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This is an all-wheel drive version and this car weighs in at 2.7 tons. So with 426 horsepower and that much weight, is it actually quick? Okay, so I've got my specialist timing gear here. Car's in sports mode. I'm just going to lift off the brake and then floor the throttle. See what happens. 3, 2, 1, go. 1. Nose is pitching skyward like a powerboat. Come on, you big lump. What's it going to do? 0 to 60, 6.9 seconds. Come on, keep going. What's the quarter mile going to be? Crossing the line now. 15.15 seconds. Not bad for something as heavy and as an aerodynamic as this. In fact, here's how this car's quarter mile time actually compares to some other more sporty vehicles. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it, this thing? Considering the size and luxury, but there is something else I need to investigate. So this car is reasonably quick and quite heavy. Can it actually stop? These brakes look rather small, but maybe that's just because the wheels are so large. It's also on all-season tyres, so I'm not sure that's going to help the braking, but maybe it'll do better than I think. Let's find out. Let's do an emergency stop from 60 miles an hour. Hopefully it will stop. If you can stop in around 35 metres, that would be really impressive, but will it or won't it? Here, we're coming to the braking zone now. I'm just going to slam on the anchors. Oh, that bit, but what's the number? 37 metres. Not amazing, but not terrible considering how heavy this car is. However, there is something else I need to look into. The Cadillac Escalade is a bit of a bargain, here in the States that is. So it's considerably cheaper than an equivalent Range Rover. It starts from $93,000, which is about £68,000, whereas the Range Rover starts from about $20,000 more. Now this is the range-topping Platinum Sport model, and this costs $123,000, which is about £93,000. However, if you want one in the UK, they get a bit more expensive. So I found one online being sold by Clive Sutton for about £160,000. And that's why I'm thinking about importing them, because there could be some good profit in it, because these things are fully loaded with the best luxury kit. You know how Range Rover has soft closed doors? Well, this has soft close and soft open. Watch this. And this is Cadillac's version of soft close, just to be clear. Closes itself. Oh, and look down there as well. You see these running boards? They pop in and out when you get in and out of the car. Now you can get those on a Range Rover, but they're an optional extra. Here on this model of Cadillac, they're included. Question is though, does this opulence extend to the interior? In some ways the interior is better than the Range Rover's, and in other ways it's not. You see, the Cadillac has a rangy beat in terms of technology, but can't match it in terms of build quality. This huge screen is way better than the central infotainment screen that you get in the Range Rover. You've also got this other control down here for your climate controls with haptic feedback. The processor seems really zippy. You also have this other unit here for the passenger, which can do things like play YouTube, Disney and all that kind of thing. Digital driver's display is less successful though, because the rev counter is a bit confused and the speedo is hard to see, but it doesn't really matter because you just use the heads-up display, which is nice and clear. The stereo system is really, really good as well. We've got speakers in the headrest, and the seats are comfortable, and you've got massage function, heated and cooling and all that kind of stuff, and you've got wireless charging for your mobile phone, which is fast wireless charging, and the USB-Cs round there can even charge a laptop, which is really, really handy. What's not so good though is things like this. Look, that creaks a bit, that creaks a bit, look at that, wobbles a bit. So while the materials all feel nice, some of it just doesn't feel quite as solid. The steering wheel's good though, and the controls are damped nicely. And the worst thing is this, the swivel wheel, which you can use for the touchscreen. That's just so cheap feeling and sounding. While this does look premium, it doesn't quite feel as premium as a Range Rover. Thing is though, if you really want a Range Rover, you have to pay for it, don't you? Unless you go for a used one. And there are plenty of used Range Rovers available on CarWow. Look, I found this 2024 D300 model with fewer than 10,000 miles, and it's up for less than £88,000. Seems like a good deal. However, if you're considering buying a used car, you need to do a vehicle history check on it to make sure that it doesn't have a dodgy past. And I recommend using Car Vertical. So I've actually done a Car Vertical history check on that particular Range Rover, and look at this, it's come back completely clean. Great. However, that's not always the case, because here's an example of a Car Vertical history check on a Range Rover with a slightly shady past. You can see it's been in a major accident and had some pretty severe front end damage. Now that could be repaired, put back on the road, and you might not never know about it if it wasn't for the Car Vertical history check. So if you're thinking about buying a used car, make sure you do a Car Vertical history check. Now you can get 20% off by using the code CarWow. There's a link in the description and in the pinned comment. Also, you can scan the QR code or just click on the pop-out banner to go do a check right now. Anyway, let's get back to the Escalade and find out if it's as good to drive as a Range Rover. This Cadillac is so luxurious and comfortable to drive. You've got air suspension, it just wafts you down the road beautifully. The steering's light, the engine, it's not fast, but it makes a nice noise, and that's the only noise you really hear. You don't get much tyre noise, you don't get any wind noise. You've got acoustic glass, everything's super quiet in here. The gearbox, it may have a lot of speeds, 10 speeds, but you don't notice it shifting through those gears at all. Really is very, very chilled. Now, it is huge, right? But out here in America, that doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter that, unlike a Range Rover, you don't have rear axle steering because there's so much room. Look, I can easily do a UE here. It might be a different story in the UK, but right now, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. One of the things I also like about it is a solution for like lane departure warning. Rather than beeping and bonging at you, you get a vibration under either your left or right buttock, depending on where you're weaving about the lanes. Oh, I've got someone behind me in a Cadillac who's beeping at me for going too slowly. Now, I think I can probably turn on right. Can I turn? Look, they're getting really cross here. Look, look. Whoa, wee. That's what it looks like with the chrome. Seems that Cadillac drivers can be... Oh, everyone's getting... Oh, maybe I'm the arse. Actually, I think I might be. While the suspension is good, it's still not quite smooth as a Range Rover's. So, yeah, other than that, it's all pretty chill. And I'm not too stressed, really, because it's such a relaxing place to be. Now, it's less relaxing when you're going down a twisted road because it is quite heavy and you do notice that. But true test of the car's luxury is this. Look, I'll show you. Listen how quiet the electric windows are. Everything. Oh, I felt the vibrations then because I crossed the line. Oh, get that rid of that. Oh, I've got to go over there. Here we go. Oh, one thing I can't complain about though is the visibility. So great view forward because you sit up high, big door mirrors, and while the back window is quite far away, we do have a camera feed. In fact, we've got decent surround view cameras. I can activate them by pressing this button here. Hey, look, you can even do it while you're driving. It does quite fill the lane, this car. So, from a driving point of view, this is a very relaxing car. But what about for your passengers? It's just so spacious and roomy back here. You can get a 3-seater bench or these individual chairs, or even upgraded luxury executive chairs which have a massage function and a big center console for your work and stuff. In terms of space, there's loads of knee room, loads of headroom, you've got a flat floor, there's lots of space for your feet, you can really stretch out underneath the seat in front. Quality from the front extends all the way back here. You've got rear windows that go all the way down. This particular car is fitted with the rear entertainment package there, so I've got YouTube and Disney here as well. We've also got things like cup holders there, we've got rear climate control, we've got USB-Cs, HDMI input, and 3-pin socket as well. These seats here, you can recline them quite a way, and they also slide forwards and backwards. Also, you've got an armrest. But the real party piece is in the third row. You'll be surprised just how much room there is. Normally back here you'd have 2 seats and it'd be quite cramped. But in this Escalade, it's actually a 3-seater in the very back. So that means in total you can have an 8-seater vehicle if you go for the 3-seater bench there. And here in the rear, headroom's actually good. The seats are comfy, they're quite far off the floor, so you don't feel cramped and like you're kind of squatting down. It's very, very, very good. And then you've got like USBs, cup holders, and all that kind of stuff. This is one of the few times where I wouldn't mind being relegated to the so-called cheap seats because they just don't really feel cheap. But if you've got a car full of people, is there really going to be enough room for their luggage? The Escalade's boot is very practical, and obviously being a luxury vehicle, we've got hands-free tailgate opening. I'll just come up close to the car. It should recognise me. There's flash the lights like that. It's going to open the boot. Go on then. I confused it by moving away. It's fine. Now, with all seats in place, there's a decent amount of luggage space, but probably not enough for everybody inside. There's no load lip, so it's easy to slide things out. This is Lewis's bag. Oh God, what's in it, Lewis? I've just broken something. You should have seen his face. What's in there?
Everything, my laptop, footage.
Oh.
Nothing important.
Nothing important. Sorry. That wasn't a great sound. Anyhow, if you need to carry more, you absolutely can. So I press this button, whee, and this one for the other seat. That's absolutely loads of load space. And then if you need more room, then you can just fold down the middle row as well. Look, whee, I like the way that works. satisfying, isn't it? Absolutely cavernous. But what about just if you need storage space in the front of the car when you're driving along, you know, stuff for your drinks and so on and so forth. In-cabin storage is okay, but not amazing considering the size of the vehicle. So you've got 2 cup holders there, storage pot there, there is space for mobile phone here, there's some storage down the side here. The door bins are a decent size, and underneath here there is plenty of room. As for the glove box, well, how on earth do you open it? Oh, it's this button on the screen. And there is a problem with that. Can you guess what it is? If the car is off, it won't go off, but anyway, if it's off, the screen goes blank and then you can't open the glove box. Brilliant idea. And that brings me on to some other annoying things about the Cadillac Escalade. For such a tall car, the tailgate doesn't open very high. Look, see? Lewis has banged his head on it a few times because he's over 6 foot. I'm obviously not. You can make the car display the image feed from the side cameras when you operate the turn signals, but there's a bit of a problem with where they decided to display it. So it would be good if they displayed it in the digital driver's display like they do on a Kia EV6. However, they decided to do it here. So let's say you're in navigation like that and you go to turn right. Oh! My map's gone! I need a direction! Ah! Yeah, that's not ideal. What's also not ideal is that, well, I've just turned right. It's fine to look over there. It makes sense to your brain. If you do the left turn, it still shows it there. So you're thinking, I'm turning left, I want to look left, but now you're having to look right. Because the seat belt for the middle passenger in the back row is mounted in the roof rather than attached to the seat itself, it means that when it's fixed and you don't detach it when you fold the rear seats down, you kind of regret it because then you have to put everything back and undo it. The car's aerial is in this pod here. Don't know why they just didn't mount it at the back and in the middle. That is aesthetically displeasing. It's great that this car has a sunroof and it opens quite wide actually. It's a bit of a shame the glass doesn't extend all the way back to the 3rd row. I know why they do it, it's because there's the blind for it in here, so they need space for that, but surely you could get away with not having a blind. Many cars have glass roofs without blinds. Why not this Cadillac? Sometimes when you're climbing about in the back of the car, it's all too easy to just accidentally open the cup holders with your leg when you bash off it. Question is though, have all these niggles put me off this car? Well, no it hasn't. You see, I spent the last week with this car and I've really enjoyed it. It does feel genuinely luxurious, so I was wrong. The Americans can build a luxury car, and here in the States, considering how much less expensive it is than a Range Rover, I would probably go for this. In the UK though, after import costs, I'd probably stick with the Range Rover. And that brings me on to whether I'm going to import one. Well, I've decided probably not, because after all the import costs and stuff, even if I sell it for about £160,000, I'll only make about 20 grand profit, and I've got all that risk involved. I think I'll just be sticking to selling the cheap Japanese cars. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the windows, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.